Morning mist clings to the trees of North London as an elegant double-fronted Edwardian home peers out across the Enfield cricket ground, Mike Gatting's own private sanctuary. What does life look like for England's captain once the headlines fade? Here, English tradition meets the American suburb dream, a kind of Cape Cod retreat tucked into London's leafy edges. Today we'll step inside this house, explore his fortune and the life he built beyond the pitch, from the boy Arsenal once rejected to the man who lifted the Ashes in Australia. Now, let's rewind to his early life and career. Michael William Gatting, born on June 6, 1957 in Kingsbury, London, was destined for a life in sport. His childhood home was one where competition thrived. His older brother Steve went on to play professional football for clubs like Brighton and Charlton, while his nephew Joe later pursued both cricket and rugby. Surrounded by athletic energy, young Mike's earliest ambitions weren't even about cricket. He dreamed of football glory, first trying out as a goalkeeper at Queen's Park Rangers when he was just 14. The coaches, however, judged him too short and too heavy. A second attempt with Arsenal ended in similar disappointment. Even a stint with Watford's reserves could not secure him a future in football. It was a harsh lesson, but one that quietly pushed him toward the sport that would define his life. Cricket soon became Gatting's stage. His batting talent was unmistakable during school and youth matches, and by 1976 he made headlines by scoring 126 on his junior one-day international debut against the West Indies under-19. That innings, his first for England youth, was more than just 100. It was a statement that he had the temperament and technique for the big stage. Middlesex quickly recognized his promise, and by 1975 he was part of their first-class setup, beginning what would become a 23-year career with the county. His England debut arrived in the late 1970s. On December 23, 1977, he played his first ODI against Pakistan, and just weeks later, on January 18, 1978, he made his Test debut against the same side. The start was steady rather than spectacular, but Gatting was building a reputation as a gritty middle-order batsman who could absorb pressure and anchor innings. Over the next 2 decades, he played 79 Test matches and 92 ODIs for England, scoring heavily and earning respect as one of the most reliable batsmen of his generation. The defining chapter came with leadership. Between 1986 and 1988, Gatting captained England in 23 tests, leading them to one of their most celebrated modern triumphs, the 1986-87 Ashes series win in Australia. That victory, remembered for its grit and surprise, restored English pride at a time when Australian dominance seemed assured. Gatting's tactical nous and calm under pressure became central to that campaign. His career was filled with dramatic highs and lows. At Madras in 1985, he scored a monumental 207, part of a rare double-century partnership alongside Graham Fowler. In contrast, he also endured moments that became infamous cricket folklore, like the brutal bouncer from Malcolm Marshall that broke his nose in 1986, or the iconic dismissal by Shane Warne's Ball of the Century in 1993, which still replays in cricket reels to this day. The 1987 confrontation with umpire Shakur Rana in Pakistan also marked him as a fiery competitor unafraid of controversy. Accolades naturally followed. He was named one of Wisden's 5 Cricketers of the Year in 1984 and received the Order of the British Empire, OBE, in 1987 for services to cricket. His batting remained his main weapon, but he was also a handy right-arm medium-pace bowler, often breaking partnerships with his deceptive deliveries. His final international contribution came during the 1994-95 Ashes in Australia, where his century in Adelaide provided a glimmer of hope in a difficult series. Gatting retired from first-class cricket in 1998, closing a career that stretched over 2 decades, more than 13,000 first-class runs, and countless memories for fans. But stepping away from the pitch didn't mean leaving cricket behind. He coached Middlesex in 1999 and 2000, worked in broadcasting, and later moved into influential administrative roles. From chairing the Lord's Taverners to serving as MCC president and eventually leading the MCC's World Cricket Committee, Gatting remained one of the most respected voices in the sport. His name even lives on in Gatting Way, the road leading to Uxbridge Cricket Ground, a small but fitting tribute to a man whose life was built on the game. And while cricket gave him global recognition, it was in North London that he built a home, a place where his passion for the sport met family life. London home, Edwardian elegance by the pitch. For a man whose entire life was shaped by cricket, it feels almost poetic that Mike Gatting's home sits directly opposite Enfield Cricket Club in North London. Yet this isn't just a cricketer's house. It's a carefully preserved piece of Edwardian architecture, a double-fronted residence that blends historic character with modern comforts. The property itself spans over 4,000 square feet, set on half an acre of land. Standing on a generous corner plot, the house projects both stature and warmth, with red brick facades, large bay windows, and white trim detailing that reflect its early 20th century roots. It's a house designed with proportion and elegance, but not in a way that feels untouchable. Instead, it exudes the kind of grounded charm that perfectly mirrors Gatting's personality, a man equally at home in the committee rooms of Lords as he is at a local club match. Step inside, and the home opens into multiple living spaces spread across 3 floors. 4 bedrooms offer ample privacy, while 2 large sitting rooms and 3 well-appointed bathrooms make it ideal for family gatherings. The upper floors, in particular, are often described as a haven for older children or teenagers, spaces where family members could carve out independence while still being tied to the household. The heart of the home is its relationship to sport. In true Gatting fashion, the garden, while not vast enough to host a full cricket pitch, has long been a space for net practice and casual games. Overlooking that same garden is one of the house's most unique features, a pavilion-style gym built into the 3-story garage. Complete with modern equipment and an ensuite bathroom, it reflects how seriously Gatting has taken fitness and training even long after his professional days. A second gym within the main house provides further flexibility, allowing him to maintain routines without ever stepping beyond his property. The garden itself balances size with practicality. At half an acre, it's generous by London standards, yet still manageable, with neatly kept lawns and borders that lend themselves to entertaining or quiet relaxation. The corner plot ensures privacy, while the orientation maximizes natural light throughout the day, flooding the interiors with warmth. The result is a home that feels open, inviting, and deeply tied to its environment. What truly distinguishes this residence, however, is its location. Few sportsmen can say they live across from a ground where the sound of leather on willow drifts into their living room on summer afternoons. For Gatting, it's more than coincidence, it's continuity. The house stands as a bridge between his playing days and his later life, rooting him in the community while offering a sense of permanence in a career often defined by travel and change. And yet, as elegant as this home is, it tells only part of Gatting's story. To understand the full measure of his life after cricket, one must also look at the fortune he built through his long playing career, captaincy, and later roles within the game. Income and net worth. For Mike Gatting, cricket was never just a game. It was the platform that built his reputation, opened doors long after he walked off the field, and quietly underpinned a financial portfolio estimated today at around $3 million. The bulk of his wealth came from his time as a professional player. Gatting represented Middlesex from 1975 to 1998, captaining the side for 14 seasons, and wore the England shirt in 79 tests and 92 ODIs. Match fees, county salaries, and captaincy bonuses during the 1980s and 1990s formed the foundation of his net worth. The high point was England's 1986-87 Ashes victory in Australia, where Gatting's leadership added prestige and extra reward. His career earnings during this period are estimated in the $500,000 to $2 million range, substantial for its time, though dwarfed by today's franchise-driven salaries. When the playing days ended, Gatting turned naturally to coaching and cricket administration. He served briefly as Middlesex head coach, 1999 to 2000, before stepping into the national framework as ECB Managing Director of Cricket Partnerships, overseeing grassroots development and county engagement. Advisory roles across county boards added further income, with combined salaries estimated between $200,000 and $500,000 across a decade. Like many ex-captains, Gatting's voice carried weight in the commentary box. With stints at Sky Sports and BBC's Test Match special, he provided insights from the slipcordon and the captain's chair, reaching audiences at home and abroad. Commentary contracts often bring annual retainers of $50,000 to $100,000, amounting to perhaps $300,000 to $800,000 over the years. Few cricketers have remained so embedded in the game's institutions. Gatting became an executive board member at Middlesex CCC, joined the Marylebone Cricket Club MCC committee, and served as MCC president in 2013 to 14. Today, he chairs the MCC World Cricket Committee, a body that shapes policy on issues from technology to player welfare. Though stipends are modest, the combined honoraria and perks are thought to have brought in $100,000 to $300,000 over time. Gatting's captaincy story, his Ashes triumph, and his candid personality have made him a fixture on the after-dinner circuit. Through agencies like Champion Speakers and MN2S, he commands fees ranging from $5,000 to $20,000 per event, adding another $100,000 to $400,000 to his career portfolio. While not a commercial juggernaut, his recognition as a Wisden Cricketer of the Year, 1984, and his OBE, 1987, opened some doors. Equipment partnerships and apparel sponsorships brought occasional boosts, estimated at $50,000 to $200,000 over his career. And yet, for all the focus on wealth and career, Gatting's influence stretches far beyond balance sheets. In recent years, he has poured time and energy into causes close to cricket and men's health, bridging the game with wider society. Philanthropy. At the heart of his charitable work lies a deep association with the Lord's Taverners, the UK's leading cricket and disability sports charity. Gatting served as both president and trustee for many years, helping to oversee programs that deliver kit, coaching, and access to disadvantaged youth across Britain. From charity golf days to school visits, his presence has helped raise both funds and awareness. Though he stepped down from his trustee role in September 2025, his connection remains strong, and he continues as an ambassadorial supporter. That theme of access runs through his involvement with SOS Kid Aid, a charity that redistributes surplus sports equipment to underprivileged children at home and abroad. In 2013, Gatting joined schoolchildren and rugby international Matt Perry in launching a joint initiative with the Lord's Taverners, ensuring that bats, pads, and jerseys that might have gathered dust instead sparked opportunity. He is also engaged with the Sporting Memories Foundation, an organization that uses sport to combat loneliness and dementia among older people. In 2023, Gatting donated a personal cricketing memory to the cause, a symbolic gesture that reinforced how the game's stories can connect generations. Fundraising appearances have also linked him with the Belvoir Cricket and Countryside Trust in Leicestershire, where he participated in An Evening with Legends of Cricket in 2023. The proceeds supported programs introducing thousands of children to cricket and countryside education. Beyond cricket, Gatting has lent his name to broader charitable efforts. In 2020, he fronted a Legends dinner raising money for Nordhoff and Robbins, a music therapy charity, alongside the Teenage Cancer Trust and Childline through the Truants Foundation Challenge. These events have collectively generated millions of pounds for young people battling illness and for children in need of vital support services. And then there are the countless one-off contributions, charity matches in Tasmania, 1993, and Japan, 2007, memorabilia auctions, and evenings where Gatting has used both his reputation and good humor to inspire giving. His philanthropy may not carry the fanfare of headline sponsorships, but it reflects a steady commitment, rooted in cricket, stretched into music and health, that continues to touch lives. In many ways, Gatting's charity work reveals the same values he carried as captain: loyalty to the team, belief in opportunity, and responsibility beyond the boundary rope. Behind the headlines, Mike Gatting's personal life has always been steadier than many might expect. Personal life. In 1980, he married Elaine Gatting, his partner throughout the high peaks and difficult troughs of his career. Unlike many sporting couples who found themselves in the glare of relentless media attention, the Gattings kept their home life almost entirely private. They have shared more than 4 decades together, building a family life deliberately sheltered from public view. While details about their children are scarce, by design rather than accident, friends describe his household as anchored by loyalty, humor, and the rituals of English domestic life. His career, particularly during the 1980s, became intertwined with moments that went beyond sport and into the realm of diplomacy, scandal, and social debate. The most infamous of these was the Shakur Rana affair in 1987, when Gatting's on-field row with the Pakistani umpire escalated into a standoff that stopped play for an entire day. What began as a dispute over field placement spiraled into an international incident, requiring the involvement of the Foreign Office and a formal apology letter from Gatting. For a man who wore his heart on his sleeve, the clash left a lasting stain, casting him as a symbol of England's strained relations with South Asian cricket at the time. A year later came the so-called barmaid scandal of 1988, when he was accused of inappropriate behavior with a waitress during a team function. Though Gatting vehemently denied wrongdoing and was humorously defended by teammate Ian Botham, who quipped that Gatting's real vice was food and drink rather than late-night affairs, the selectors used the incident to sack him as captain. The episode became shorthand for England's Summer of 4 Captains, a period of instability that made Gatting both a scapegoat and a symbol of a fractured system. Perhaps the most controversial decision of his career was leading the 1989-90 Rebel Tour of South Africa, defying the global sporting boycott of the apartheid regime. Gatting and his squad were banned from official cricket for 3 years, and his dismissive comment about anti-apartheid protesters, "a few people singing and dancing," cemented criticism that has followed him ever since. While some later sought to contextualize the decision within the financial insecurity of county professionals at the time, the tour remains a blemish on his legacy, raising questions about cricket's moral responsibilities and the role of its captains as ambassadors. Today, in his quiet moments at home in North London, Gatting is no longer the headline maker, but rather the custodian of a cricketing tradition, passing down stories, wisdom, and perhaps a reminder that life, like sport, is as much about lessons learned as victories won. If you enjoyed this story, please support the channel by liking the video, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you won't miss the next journey into the lives of sporting legends. Your comments and thoughts mean a lot, so share them below. We love hearing from you. Until next time, thank you for always being with us.